They won most in the Bobcats win the faceoff as they won most in the third period. Pass complete. Lipkin has a man in front. Shot
score! Unreal finish to the Frozen Four. Quinnipiac Bobcats win themselves a national championship over Minnesota after coming from behind to pull the goalie. This is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes gambling. The two things happening on the internet today are that Elon Musk misspelled Twitter. He called it Titter, and obviously the internet is being very mature about that. Also, Succession last night has people talking. I am... 12 episodes behind. I got to get it together because people are like, was it the greatest episode of television ever? The only episode right now that is being compared to it is the Battle of the Bastards in Game of Thrones and the third to last episode of Breaking Bad, Ozympians or something. I forget what it was called. But that's what people are talking about this morning. Also, what a weekend of sports. All of the sports happening. Bunch of stuff happened. The NFL, which has been incredibly boring, had some news. Odell Beckham Jr. is going to the Ravens. Can he play anymore? Who knows? But shouts to the Quinnipiac Bobcats. They win the national championship. They pulled the goalie with like 2-something left. At 2:40, they score almost immediately. And then they score in overtime off of the opening faceoff. Let's play it again. This is the whole clip. The whole clip is 19 seconds. I'm going to get DCMA'd for this. But alas, I don't make money on this anyway. This is the whole clip.
Bobcats win the faceoff as they won most in the third period. Pass complete. Lipkin has a man in front. Shot score!
I mean, from the start of the clip, it's 11 seconds. The ref got wrecked, and poor this guy. I don't forget how he wound up down there. Yeah, but unbelievable. So shouts to them. The Masters, the big story over the weekend. Let's start with that. Brooks Koepka. Brooks, he was winning, and then Jon Rahm was close, and then Jon Rahm won by a lot. Brooks melted the fuck down. So LIV stands for 54 in Roman numerals, and that's how many holes Brooks Koepka played at the Masters. I don't know what his final round was. He was like 5 over, I think. It was a disaster. He melted down. He's not in golf shape. He can't hang. He had some shots that were they were disasters. He had some disasters, and if he had simply played average, boring golf, just normal golf that he's played, I mean, he didn't have to play that well. He would have been tied for first, I think. He was a mess. He couldn't do it. It was one of the worst collapses of all time in Masters history. It doesn't mean he would have won because Jon Rahm, but there were times during the final round where he had a 2 or 3 shot lead and then he fell apart, but they had to play 30 holes. Him and John had to play 30 holes on Sunday because of the weather delay on Saturday, and Augusta finishing on Sunday is more important than the player's health, obviously. Speaking of player health, Tiger Woods withdrew after his knee started hurting. People are saying if he could have a cart, he could compete, and I'm not 100% sure if they shouldn't let these guys have carts. Regardless, Jim Nantz taking a shot at LIV Golf. Remember, LIV Golf's broadcast rights are sort of owned or rented or whatever by the CW, with Smallville and that station. Let's hear what Jim Nantz has to say here.
There he is right on the CW, the crosswalk.
He says, there's Brooks on the CW, the crosswalk. Is that a shot from Jim Nantz on Masters Sunday? Kinda. I kind of think it is. Jon Rahm was awesome, though. He deserves it. The LIV guys played really well. Phil Mickelson played well. Some other LIV guys played well. There's an amateur, I don't know how old he is, something Bennett. He played really well. These amateurs that play really well the first couple of days and they fall apart in the U.S. Open, but this guy played and finished, I think, top 20 or something. Bennett played really great, and I hope to see more of him. It's going to be awesome. Good for him. Shouts to, could you imagine, you're kind of in college and you're like, oh, yeah, I almost won the Masters, kind of. He was in the final pairing on Saturday. Jon Rahm did predict his Masters championship, on November 8th, 2013. He tweeted a fortune cookie. Your talents will be recognized and suitably rewarded. I'm going to win the Masters. Good walks spoiled. Oh, is that Tim Mickelson? That's his at? Jesus. What a weird at. Tim Mickelson is Phil Mickelson's brother and the head coach of Arizona State University golf team, which is where Rahm went to college. So shout out to John Rahm. Good for him, man. Okay, let's move on to other sports. The NHL over the weekend, the Boston Bruins, I think they tied and then bested the Detroit Red Wings and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The 96 Red Wings, the 19 Lightning for the most wins in a regular season. They have 2 games to go. They could absolutely win 2 more. Everybody on the internet correctly pointing out that the Red Wings, when the Red Wings did it, they didn't have 5-on-5 or even they didn't have 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 overtime, and they didn't have a shootout. And those wins count as wins for the Bruins and the Lightning, so it's not the same thing. What the Red Wings did is more impressive. That is a fact, but still amazing. And it's proof that people are getting closer to this because if you have a good team, every sport is having this thing where leagues are understanding that it's better to tank and break it down. But the Bruins, the greatest regular season team, I'm not going to call them the greatest regular season team of all time, but the winningest regular season team of all time with 3-on-3 overtime and shootouts. NHL playoffs, I believe, start Thursday? Yes. No. Saturday? The last regular season game is Thursday, April 13th, and then we have makeup games on Friday, April 14th for weather or whatever else. I don't know if there were any COVID cancellations. I do not recall. But a couple games tomorrow, then Thursday as well. The National Basketball Association, they have finished up. There's a play-in tournament, the play-in tournament, I guess, is 4 teams from each conference. Jesus, this is stupid. So the Hawks are going to play the Bulls, and then the winners. The Hawks are going to play the Heat. That happens tomorrow, and the Bulls are going to play the Raptors. That happens on Wednesday, and then tomorrow the Timberwolves are going to play the Lakers, and the Thunder are going to play the Pelicans for the right to advance to the playoffs, I guess. And then wait, is this a 4-team tournament, and the winner gets to go to the playoffs? Jeez, fucking stupid. The big story in the NBA over the weekend was the Mavericks tanked with Luka Doncic on the team, and they were still actively in contention to be in one of these spots. It was Slovenian night. There were people that traveled to Dallas to watch Luka Doncic play basketball from Slovenia, where he's from, and they benched him after a quarter. It is the first time a team with a superstar tanked while they were in the playoffs. They were like, nah, we're good. Nah. What a disaster. What a joke. Lottery ball odds mean more. I mean, it's very simple. Like, if you're not going to win the championship, you need to suck as much as possible. If you're not going to win the championship, the best thing that can happen to you is that your superstar undergoes a season-long injury that is not, like, seriously threatening. Like, Joel Embiid did it. If Luka could have, like, broken his leg, just like an itty-bitty little, just like a little baby fracture in February, it would have been better for the Mavs, period. You need to you either need to try to win the championship or suck as much as possible. So the play-in tournament starts tomorrow, and then the real NBA playoffs start on Saturday. So the NHL's got these guys by a little bit. I don't know when the NHL playoffs start. We've got a whole week to deal with that. Let's move to baseball, where people are getting fussy about getting ejected, which is hilarious to me. Who wants to see a home run? How about Aaron Judge, the second home run of the day? Why not watch that? That sounds like a good highlight. Boom.
Deep to left field. And that ball is
up and out of there pretty quick. 376 feet in this one random spot of the wall. He hit it about 384 feet. Just enough to get over there. Just enough to get over the wall. Just enough. Keep hitting that note. I'm pretty impressed with myself. We have ourselves a mess. So O'Neal Cruz, who could play defensive end in the NFL, is the most amazing athlete in baseball in a long time in terms of athleticism. He had an ugly, ugly slide at home plate. He slid a little late. He ran into the catcher, and then you can hear somebody say, I don't know if it's the catcher yelling at him or if he's yelling at the catcher. He kind of gets hurt, and then, boom, brawls. Look at them all. So let's just watch. I want to watch the slide first. Shouts to John Boy Media. He got this from Talking Baseball. I don't know who owns the rights to the clip, but let's just see. So watch the slide. It's gross. Listen for the cussing.
Runner breaks for the plate, and he's going to be out.
Someone said, bitch. Did you hear that? And what the fuck? Oh, wait, one more time.
Runner breaks for the plate, and he's going to be out. And And Cruz looks like he's hurt.
Yeah, he
The
went
fuck
in
is that?
awkwardly.
So, like, look how bad the slide is, though. They're going to break it down in the replay. Look at this. This is a mess.
Been up behind him there.
This meeting, as you see, Zavala kicks the bat away. And here comes O'Neal Cruz.
He just didn't. He just timed his slide up wrong.
Yeah, that ankle looks like it's
And he
been
rolled
up
his ankle. It
behind
looks
him.
like, yeah, so it's bad. And then people get up in his face. He's the best player. That's what they do. And I don't know what they're. After that, when you see benches clearing in baseball, it's mostly just a bunch of macho posturing. With a lot of guys who, I'm tough, you're tough, I'm tough. So UFC over the weekend. I don't usually cover UFC. Combat sports aren't for me. We had a rematch, some sort of rematch in the UFC. It doesn't really matter. But the guy that won this time could never beat this other guy. It's his name is Pereira. Pereira had dominated this Izzy person. And one of the times that Izzy lost to Pereira, Pereira's son, who was 5 at the time, made fun of him. He mocked him. So this time, Izzy found the son, who is now 10 years old, and mocked him to his face. How did he mock him? He mimicked his dad getting knocked out and just like fell to the ground. So watch the clip. This is a boxer or a UFC fighter pointing at a kid. Combat sports are so stupid. He's pointing at the son. He's like, oh, we see your daddy got knocked out. He's making fun of the son. Combat sports are gross. They're just disgusting. They're proof that society is going in the wrong direction. But if you like him, that's fine. Good for you. I don't really cover them because I do think that they are gross. I mean, it is funny. It is funny. Traumatic brain injuries are bad. Want to watch the Timberwolves meltdown? Here's Rudy Gobert getting into a fight with his own teammate, Alex something.
Game, regular season finale.
Watch these guys.
And we had a scuffle on the Timberwolves bench. Anderson and Rudy Gobert.
Love it. So what's happening is, I guess the reports were that one guy was like, hey, why don't you grab a rebound? And the other guy was like, block a shot or something, and then they punched each other. They're in the play-in tournament, so I guess that's the playoffs. Second year in a row, they were not one of the worst 4 teams that don't get to participate in the... Is this so? I think it's 8 teams, and there's 2 play-in teams. 10 fucking teams from each conference. The NBA has really gotten soft. I mean, it was soft, but now it is like soft. You know what I'm saying? Odell Beckham Jr. signs with the Ravens. Is it a ploy to get Lamar to sign there, to just stay there and relax because they never get him a receiver? Is it a Ravens-ass signing because they'd never get guys in their prime? Who knows? Who knows, man? It doesn't really matter. The NFL has been incredibly slow and boring in this offseason compared to others. The Jets seem to think they're getting Aaron Rodgers. They think it's a done deal, so we'll have to figure it out. Last week of NHL regular season, playoffs, NBA playoffs, play-in game starts tomorrow, and then the real playoffs start. It's April. It's the best month of the year.